News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938, Matson celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus, Guam's leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime, a manhunt for a gunman comes to an end. Investigators making an arrest overnight. The alleged shooter, a known drug user who got into a fight with the victim over another woman. Plus, a campaign or business boost, and for who? CNMI House lawmakers issuing subpoenas to get to the bottom of a business assistance program some describe as vote buying ahead of Friday's gubernatorial runoff. And a medical malpractice bill up for public hearing today, doctors speaking out against it, saying it will hinder patient care, exposing all healthcare professionals to a, quote, open season of attacks.
Hoffman, good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Delgado. Welcome to Primetime. Great to have you joining us today. Well, a love triangle that led to a deadly shooting, a 10-day manhunt for a killer, plus a kidnapping and drugs. All this surfacing following an overnight capture of a man now facing charges of aggravated murder in the shooting of 37-year-old Edward Bamba. The alleged shooter, police say, is 30-year-old Janice Tabata.
The search for a killer is over. 30-year-old Janice Tabata arrested on suspicion of aggravated murder and illegal weapons possession in connection to the November 12th shooting that claimed the life of 37-year-old Edward Bamba.
It was a love triangle. And
Guam Police Chief Stephen Ignacio confirming Tabata pulled up to the home along Chelan Escuela, got into an argument with Bamba over another woman both dated, before allegedly pulling the trigger and shooting Bamba in the chest, killing him.
We do know that they actively use methamphetamine, but the motive for the shooting and the homicide had nothing to do with the drug trade or the use of ice. It had more to do with domestic relationships.
Detectives finding video surveillance to hone in on Tabata's car, a silver sedan that fled the scene.
I want to assure the public that, at all times, the safety of the community is always first and foremost.
Ignacio admitting they knew who they were looking for, but kept that info from the community.
So that, he's not tipped off that we're actively looking for him, and so that he doesn't have the advantage as we go out and search for him.
Tabata keeping authorities on their toes since officers responded to the scene on November 12th at 8:15 Saturday morning. Bamba rushed to GRMC, but he didn't survive. 5 days passed November 17th before Tabata's car was spotted in the Dededo area several times, police even trying to stop the car during one encounter, but the suspect sped off before hitting a patrol car. Officers found the car torched at the Ukudu pipeline area 2 days later. Monday morning, a woman walked into the Dededo precinct alleging Tabata and Darajeen Padama abducted, held, and beat her before she was able to escape. The woman, police say, is the same one who dated both Tabata and Bamba. She was taken to GMH, forcing the hospital on lockdown for her protection. By Monday night, detectives spotted Tabata in a car with Padama at the Micronesia Mall. Police used federal and local resources to catch him.
With the escalation of violence with Tabata's actions, we felt that it was necessary to put together a task force specific, pretty much for a manhunt.
During his arrest, officers found 7 grams of meth, but no murder weapon. Tabata also facing charges of attempted murder and kidnapping. Padama was arrested on suspicion of aggravated assault and conspiracy.
Prison records show both Tabata and Padama are no strangers to law enforcement, both having prior arrests. Well, he said meth, quote, keeps the sadness away and numbs the depression. That's what convicted drug dealer Jeffrey Baldonado told a federal judge before being sentenced to 2.5 years in the Bureau of Prisons. He, along with James Damaso, were convicted for dealing more than $500,000 in meth and smuggling pounds of meth through the mail in 2019. Baldonado telling Chief Judge Francis Tidinco Gatewood today he needed the money and has since learned it's not worth it. Over in the CNMI, House lawmakers issuing 2 sets of subpoenas for those involved in the island's Boost program, meant to assist local businesses and nonprofits but some say it's boost to campaigns ahead of the runoff election Friday. Regional correspondent Tomas Maglonia reports.
I really don't blame anyone who applies for these grants. I get it. It looks like vote buying, especially with the timing and especially with the lack of transparency and the apparent lack of fairness about who gets an award and how much they get. And
lawmakers in a joint session of the Ways and Means and Judiciary and Governmental Operations Committees issuing subpoenas to the Secretary of Finance, Commerce, Bank of Saipan, Bank of Guam, and Governor's Office for detailed information about the BOOST program, which stands for Building Optimism, Opportunity, and Stability Together. It provides financial assistance to local businesses and nonprofits through grants.
Again, here we are issuing subpoenas because Ralph Torres is unwilling to come forward and give us the information we've requested. It's straight up to him.
Days before the gubernatorial runoff election, Democrats aren't pulling any punches, while Republicans Governor Ralph Torres and members of his cabinet deny allegations of political motivations behind the program. Lawmakers also voting to issue separate subpoenas to compel the testimony of the leadership of some of the agencies involved in BOOST to answer questions mid-December. KUAM spoke with Secretary of Finance David Atalig on Sunday, who says they're working on gathering the information.
This whole program was designed to help our small businesses, even as the idea stemmed and started ever since we got the ARPA funds.
The total pool of funds for the program is around $10 million of federal funds. Tomas Maglonia for KUAM News on Saipan.
Well, a controversial bill that now has the community divided, Bill 112, aims to change the costly mandatory medical malpractice arbitration law that proponents say hinders patients from making malpractice claims. Doctors from various hospitals and clinics gathering today to speak out against it. Mitsuki Hirayama with a look at that discussion from Haggadah.
Nick, it's here at the Guam Congress building where doctors showed up expressing just how much they oppose a bill by Speaker Therese Terlahi. The measure, Bill 112, would amend the controversial Mandatory Medical Malpractice Arbitration Act. Healthcare professionals, however, claiming the bill would lead to a spike in what they call frivolous claims filed against them and more doctors unwilling to work in Guam. Take a listen.
There's no one here who wants to have it be not affordable. So we need to sit and talk and say, how do you make it so those who meet certain criteria?
You guys want to come to the table? It's been 4 years.
You'll have a chance.
4 years.
You'll have a chance.
I have my chance.
Okay. I'm just asking, just be polite.
Thank you for my free speech. I appreciate that.
I know those ways. So we need to say no to this bill. We need to come to the table. We need to have our senators really listen to us. They have heard from us last summer, and here we are again in unity saying, no, this is still not the solution. We need to come to the table and come up with a better solution for what is already a fragile healthcare system, and it's only going to get worse if this bill were to pass.
These healthcare professionals saying the arbitration process is not the underlying problem and the bill is not the solution. Now, a pair of public hearings on the bill are happening right here, where testimonies are being heard from both those for and against it. We'll be sure to bring you more right here on KUAM. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mitsuki, for that report. With more news when we return, you're watching KUAM.
Howdy, folks. Nobody loves a Guam potluck more than I do. That's why I always bring my world-famous chicken, served any way you like it. Original recipe, extra crispy tenders, Kentucky Fried Wings, and more. All right. And nothing completes a meal like KFC's signature sides. Hot mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, and a flaky biscuit. The world's favorite chicken, right here on the island, and only at KFC Guam. Whoops! Well, it is finger-looking good.
Are you ready for more? Introducing GTA 5G. More speed. Experience fast 5G speeds while streaming video, gaming online, or downloading files. More reliable. Guam's most reliable network with more 5G coverage than the competitors. More value. All GTA postpaid wireless customers get 5G access for free. GTA 5G. 5G done right.
My name is Leonza Selvage, and I have a 4-year-old daughter who goes to lots of learning daycare. So with the rising cost of living, it helps tremendously with bills. I don't have to worry about paying for childcare services. Knowing that this program is offered to our people, most especially our children, I think something to definitely be grateful for. I learned about Programan Panilan from the mayor's offices here, and my initial reaction to the program, I was actually in disbelief that this program offered free childcare services to our people. I wanted to give my mom a break for a little bit, so when I found out about the program, I jumped right on it. I was relieved because childcare at no cost. I'm thankful for this program because I don't have to worry about an extra set of bills coming my way. I'm grateful to the governor, the lieutenant governor, everyone behind the scenes that made this happen.
Need help paying for childcare? Guam families can receive financial support through Programan Pinilan. Learn more and apply at guamchildcare.com.
Half a day.
Hi.
That will be $20, please.
I forgot my Mobile Smiles driver's rewards card.
No worries. You can now use your registered mobile number to earn points.
Can I use my mobile number to redeem rewards?
Sure. Just show us your photo ID or driver's license.
That's easy.
For employers, workers, and those involved in construction safety, join this free residential construction safety and injury prevention training, available in November and December. Please visit biahawaii.org or call 808-629-7505 for more.
Welcome back to your news leader. Now to a couple of election races that were too close to call. The senatorial candidates who placed 15th and 16th during the general election, along with the 2 declared candidates on the ballot for the nonpartisan race of Attorney General of Guam. On the day the Guam Election Commission is set to certify the results, officials instead will again run each ballot through the machines. Jason Salas reports.
Up for grabs is the 15th seat in the 37th Guam legislature. Candidates Jessa Lujan, who got 11,995 votes, and Dr. Kelly Marsh Taitano, who received 11,620 votes. Then there's the race for Attorney General between incumbent Levin Camacho and former AG Douglas Moyland. The latter leads by 77 votes. Results for both races, not including the provisional ballots, were too close to call. Here's Maria Pangilinan, the GEC's executive director.
The law states that anything less than 2%, any difference less than 2%, requires a recount. So we will recount after we finish tabulating, processing and tabulating provisionals and absentees.
The recount has been scheduled to begin at 5:30 p.m. on Thanksgiving Eve.
It was about 5 hours it took us to get through all the count on a general election night. Is it expected to take the same, seeing as we're running those same amount of ballots?
You know, that seems logical, right? So we'll see, but we plan to make it as efficient as possible. We've started setting up since last week the actual venue, and we continue to physically look at, inspect all the ballot envelopes.
Pangilinan continued to say that if 0 glitches or issues are discovered, then the commission will vote to certify the results. For the time being, AG candidate Moylan asked the GEC for a copy of the voter listing used election night, stating that he wants to make sure remaining outstanding ballots are counted and that there were no double votes. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jason Salas.
Incumbent AG Levin Camacho also stating, quote, "I believe that every vote should be counted. Denying these voters the opportunity to participate in the election would betray the fundamental principles on which our democracy was founded." Well, now to an update on the campus shuffle to come from 4 public schools. Daniel Parrish joins us with what parents and students at those schools need to know.
Yes, Nick, the Guam Education Board is meeting this hour to discuss the move of students and staff of FBLG and Ocean View Middle School students. The plan is to send them to Ukudu High and Southern High, respectively. The move is due to the deteriorating conditions of the 2 middle schools, both confirmed to be unsafe. Now, the move is not final, as board members and the acting superintendent, Francis Sanchez, is still working out the details. While they iron those out, we do know FB students are expected to move to Ukudu on January 6th, following the holiday break. No word yet if that will be the case for Ocean View's move to Southern High. Education leaders are still coming up with a plan to segregate the middle schoolers from high schoolers so no trouble takes place while they're sharing a campus. As for the busing to their new campus, that too is being discussed. We, of course, will bring you the full details once we get it. Nick?
Thanks, Daniel. Well, we want to tell you how you can meet Santa on Black Friday. Santa needs your help filling up his trusty sleigh for those in need before Giving Tuesday comes around. Between 10 in the morning to noon on Friday, November 25th, stop on by our KUAM studios here in Harmon and drop off new toys and food items and meet him in person. You can take photos, share your Christmas wish list, and get on the nice list with your generosity. Well, now for a look at your world at home, here's a view captured in Tumon of the Guam sign set up at the Ipao Beach Park. Guam sunshine weather showing off again. The Guam National Weather Service predicting Wednesday will include some clouds in our skies, also a 20% chance of rain.
My name is Lisa Tahaji. I'm from the village of Umatic. I lost my job during COVID. For 1 year, I was staying with a family member, but I knew I had to find a place to stay. I was desperately looking for a home. I found out about the Relief Center from the Governor Liu and Lieutenant Governor Josh's Facebook page. I wasn't sure if they could help, but I thought I'd take a chance. I walked into the center and the staff were so understanding and compassionate, they helped me. Within a week, through their assistance, I was called to sign a lease agreement. My kids and I now have a roof over our heads, and I'm grateful for the help of the administration and the Relief Center. For anyone who needs any government assistance, I encourage you to visit the Relief Center. They are there to help.
Oh yeah, we need these, no? You know what we do need? Nacho fries, topped with everything! We absolutely needed these.
Introducing Taco Bell's new 7-layer nacho fries.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and to the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on CalVost Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Federal employees and annuitants, enroll today.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some youth basketball highlights from the FIBA Oceania Championship being held at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse. Check it out.
Guam's U15 national basketball team faced elite competition in their opening game of the FIBA U15 Oceania Championship. Our boys are in Group A and have been drawn with powerhouse country Australia, New Zealand, and Samoa. Australia's men's national team program is ranked number 3 in the world and holds a number 1 zone rank. To give you an idea of the caliber of players on the visiting roster, Australia led by double digits before Team Guam would score their first basket of the game from the free throw line. Noah Hernandez with the kick-out pass to Jace De La Cruz, who drains the jumper with the hand in his face. LeClan Ken Geyser came off the bench and finished the game with 11 points for Australia. After 3 quarters in the books, the home team trailed 96-21. Off the turnover, Ken Geyser to Indy Cotton, who was out running. Cotton with the two-handed finish the other way. He put up 13 points. Linwood Baker scored 8 points for Team Guam, playing 20 minutes on the floor. Baker buries the wide-open jumper. Australia scored 40 points in the fourth quarter to win 136-35. Michael Bork hits one of 2 shots from the free throw line after getting the whistle. Guam will face New Zealand tonight at 7 p.m. at the UOG Cabo Fieldhouse. New Zealand is coming off a win in their opener over Samoa. Noah Hernandez finished the game with 8 points for Guam in the losing effort. In January this year, FIFA Museum sent out requests for objects from each of the 211 FIFA member associations representing their respective football culture to showcase in its newest exhibit ahead of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. A handful of former and current national team players, as well as coaches and GFA staff, were polled on possible items to send to the FIFA Museum. By the end of February, the Marianas Cup, large perpetual trophies made of ephod wood and carved into a laddie stone shape traveled with the winning teams, was selected to send in as Guam's contribution to the exhibit. In programming news, Friday, November 25th at 3:30 in the morning on KUAM TV 11, NFL on CBS, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Detroit Lions. Keep it locked to the stations of KUAM and switch the channel over to KUAM TV 8 for Sunday Night Football on Thanksgiving night, 11:15 in the morning. The Patriots taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Fast, fun, and easy. That's how your home Wi-Fi should be. So start with an internet plan that fits your budget. Introducing your home Wi-Fi starter pack, also known as WISP. Enjoy up to 25 megabits per second for as low as $35 a month. Plus, a free router with your wireless subscription. That's hours of movies, games, social media, and more endless fun. Get your Wi-Fi starter pack today only at Docomo Pacific. Better together. Additional conditions may apply.
This burger looked at one slice of melted cheese and said, more cheese. It looked at pickles and said, also onions. It wanted to be more than hot. It wanted to be juicy. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. If you thought one napkin for the Quarter Pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
Self-determination is a right of a people to determine their political destiny. It is a right of people and not of land.
The United States is not recognizing us as the indigenous people of these islands, of the Marianas.
But we don't have the choice.
After we have all of this education, after we really understand what the current status means, what does it entail, and then what do these other status options provide or offer to us, now we have to make a decision. Now we have to decide, okay, for ourselves, what do we want?
Under colonial rule, imperialist laws, we have suffered much in the hands of the colonizer.
The political progression of is guaranteed, but how have we gone forward from that?
It's just completely unfair to our people.
Which is in essence a modern day colony.
Every Sunday and Monday at 7 p.m. only on KGTF Channel 12, PBS Guam.
And for this week's Giving Every Tuesday, we want to remind you of the amazing and warm-hearted people on this island who are doing their part to make the world a much kinder place, one gesture at a time. Here's Jonah Goncharfris.
All year long, we've been introducing you to groups, organizations, and individuals around the island who have done what they can with what they have to make change, fill a need, and make our community a better place. From big gestures such as baking delicious birthday cakes for children in foster care, in shelters, and Department of Youth Affairs. Bake Their Date, a nonprofit consisting of a cake crew of about 18 talented bakers, puts their love into making sure each cake is personalized and special for each child. The end result? A smile and a lasting memory. To those who've used their personal hardships as motivation, such as Celia Anderson. When her mother, Jessica Stout, owner of Bonita Baby, passed away, Anderson took on a project her mom wanted to launch, a free community reading nook that aims to encourage reading and give children easier access to books.
They're welcome to take a seat in the book nook, grab a book, and read a couple pages while you shop. They're welcome to take a book or two home. And even if they have a book, they're welcome to exchange it and leave one for another person. So it's kind of just a little community space that everyone can enjoy.
To businesses incorporating service into their missions, such as Bank of Guam, to celebrate their 50th anniversary during their second annual Founders Day of Giving, community service projects coordinated by the Employee Volunteerism-based program with the assistance of some of the village mayors and nonprofits were held, all with one goal in mind.
Uplift our communities. Particularly last year, I think we were smack dab in the middle of some really sad situations, and we wanted to uplift everybody, but we also wanted to have an opportunity to meet with our employees and see them, of course, maintaining all the social distancing protocols and such.
We've shared the stories of just some of the many in our community embracing the true spirit of Anafan Maulik through the Giving Every Tuesday series. We've shared the stories not only to highlight the amazing people among us, but with the hope their acts would inspire, encourage, and light a spark in all of you to put kindness and generosity first. Giving Tuesday is not about one day, but about a movement of kindness and generosity that carries on year-round.
Finally tonight, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Happy November 22nd birthday, the 22nd day of the 11th month of the year. And that's awesome. I love writing that, 11/22. And Amberlyn Cruz blows out the candles today, and happy birthday. Enjoy your day, Amberlyn. Best wishes from your adoring family. Christy Segawit, happy birthday to you from your family who sends you all of their best. And Verna Unkanko, happy birthday, oh mother of mine, from your two awesome sons, your daughter, your husband, and your two loving grandbabies. That's a lot of love, that's a lot of hearts, and very, very well deserved. So, Amberlyn, Christy, and Verna, happy birthday to each of you.
And that's your Tuesday primetime show. For more news, we are always on at KUAM.com or on KUAM News social media. Thank you, and Sizos Masi. Stay safe and good night.
KUAM News Hotspot is brought to you by
Pacific Points, Do More, Get More, and Calvo Enterprises, Inc.
Afternoon, everybody. I'm Jason Salas. This is the Hotspot. Let's get right to it.
The menu, brought to you by King's Restaurant, always open, always local, and Ruby Tuesday Guam, home of the fresh Garden Bar.
On our show today, Guam is seeing an uptick in RSV cases right along COVID as well as the flu. We are making spaces a reality with our friends at M80 Systems as we discuss flooring options and tips. Also, we have this week's installment of Weekly Renewal with our friend Claire Calvo, and we have House to Home with Liz and Jima from Remax Realty Guam. But first, right off the top of the show, we're going to head over to GPD headquarters in Tijen, where they are just wrapping up a press conference that was held before Island Media regarding the Dedido homicide investigation. Nick Delgado is standing by with the latest.
Jace, it was a love triangle between the suspect, the shooter, victims, and another woman. This is what the motive for that deadly shooting that unfolded 10 days ago up at Chalana Escuela, a quiet neighborhood in Dedido. We're told by the chief of police and his detectives were just moments ago they confirmed the arrest of Janice Tabata. He was the man who allegedly shot and killed 37-year-old Edward Bamba outside of that Dedido residence, the two getting into an argument before Tabata then pulled the trigger. It took authorities now several days to go on that manhunt, and it was after an apparent stabbing incident, as we told you on KUAM.com earlier today, between the defendant, Tabata, and another woman yesterday that led to this capture. It was days that investigators were told during today's press conference have been trying to track down Tabata after they learned the car that he made off with following that shooting that happened that Saturday morning. Now, here's what police tell us. The investigators telling us that it was Monday morning. There was a woman that walked in to the Dededo precinct. She had suffered several stab wounds, was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital, and it was at that point they learned that the alleged stabbing suspect was Tabata. This then leading them to the Micronesian Mall area, where they tracked down Tabata and another woman who apparently was holding that woman hostage. And that's where they made the arrest. Inside the car that Tabata was driving, they found at least 7 grams of methamphetamine. The woman, we told, was also charged in the case. Her name, Dara Jean Padama, charged with aggravated assault, conspiracy of aggravated assault, along with other charges. Tabata now facing charges of aggravated murder, aggravated assault, use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony, reckless conduct, illegal possession of a firearm, as well as aggravated assault, attempted murder for the separate incident involving that woman at GMH yesterday, kidnapping, and illegal drug possession. Now, of course, Tabata and Padama now await to go before the court to answer to those charges. But for now, investigators say that more arrests could be made. We'll send it to you back in studio.
All right, thanks so much, Nick. Once again, reporting live from the GPD press conference detailing the arrest after a shooting in Dededo. We're going to move on to a rundown now. In healthcare news, as while the big thing on the minds of most of you Guamanians is preparing the house, the yard, and the kitchen for this Thursday's assumedly large Thanksgiving feast, the folks over at Public Health are keeping a keen eye on a developing issue that may threaten the ability of us islanders to gather and celebrate as we normally do, having the potential to create a perfect storm of respiratory illnesses at possibly the least opportune time of the year. Guam is seeing a sharp rise in respiratory illnesses, and while we've begrudgingly accepted the truth that COVID is here to stay, the local Department of Public Health and Social Services has noticed an uptick in the volume of cases of RSV, a very common but potentially lethal disease affecting our ability to breathe. The agency's acting chief public health officer is Xenia Piscina, who details which members of our island community are most affected by RSV.
For those of you that are kind of wondering, what is the difference between RSV, the flu, and COVID-19? So remember, all three are viruses. So it's just a different type of virus. And so how are you going to know which you have? You won't until you go get tested.
This means the symptoms are just like those in COVID, but can also accelerate to wheezing or a cough that can sound like a dog barking.
This occurs mostly in children younger than 1 year of age and adults 65 years and older. So this virus, it's mild and it mimics the common cold.
While RSV is hitting us in conjunction with COVID and the flu, the latest virus to make it into the public lexicon does have some telltale signs, such as being a prime contributor to bronchiolitis in very young babies and the elderly, as well as pneumonia.
It enters through our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. So anytime anyone coughs or is sick, you might want to stay away, make sure you have your mask on. And
Annette Uggan, a veteran of Public Health's Bureau of Communicable Disease Control, says that much like COVID, the treatment and prevention tactics for RSV come down to some now familiar practices at home, in school, and on the job.
Stay home if you're sick. Avoid close contact with anyone who has symptoms. And again, we can't emphasize enough the 3 W's, wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance.
She also strenuously urged the community to get vaccinated, so these viruses do have specific treatments designed to make their impacts on you milder, should you contract them.
Check with your primary doctors, get that. We have it available in Northern and Southern Public Health. And look out for our outreach. We recently had an outreach over the weekend.
Immunization, they say, is key to keeping the volume of cases down, easing the strain on Guam's hospitals and clinics, especially with this being Thanksgiving week and the middle of the rainy season. Public Health isn't taking this item of concern lightly, and neither should you.
Flu trends that you're hearing is U.S. side. Winter. Guam, we don't have a winter, but our flu season is year round. So again, so we want to emphasize that if you didn't get it, it's not too late. Get it as soon as you can.
The data profiling just how widespread RSV is in our community, along with COVID and influenza, is being compiled and will be presented at a press conference later this week. Reporting for KUAM News, I'm Jason Salas. Well, in this November installment of Making Spaces a Reality, our friends at M80 Systems share with us some flooring options and tips. Enjoy.
Making Spaces a Reality with M80 Systems.
All right, back here at M80 with Jess and Anthony, and we are talking just about flooring today, a very, very critical component of not only an office's aesthetic, but also its ability to welcome in customers, clients, partners, and make the employees feel at home.
Yeah, you know, when we look at spaces, M80 tries to provide our clients every solution within that space. So whether it's furniture or flooring or wall treatments, window treatments, those are different solutions we bring to the table. I love flooring. You don't realize how much flooring can change a space until you're looking at flooring and you're like, wow, that's really nice. So the great thing about flooring is there's so many options. I always tease people, the great thing about M80 is we have so much options. The bad thing about M80 is we have so much options. So it's like an oxymoron.
Okay, and Anthony, I'm curious about this because technically the word is flooring, but we're actually looking at these are carpeting patterns, right?
Carpet tiles.
Okay.
So the great thing about M80, again, within our options, there are more options. So with the flooring options, we have what we call EVT. And then also our carpet tile. So we have a couple of collections here. We have our Stratum collection, and then we also have our Sandy Hollow Classic.
So we go anything from broadloom to carpet tiles, engineered vinyl tiles, luxury vinyl tiles, the whole works. Now you're kind of looking at it saying, okay, what do I want for my space?
Yeah.
Right? We enjoy EVT. So this is something, it's engineered vinyl tile, right? So it kind of has that nice wood look. This is, like Anthony said, is our Stratum Iris collection. The great thing about this, when people are looking at flooring, they never know the importance of it, right? So one of the things I would have to suggest is anyone wanting to do something like an engineered vinyl tile, always look at your wear layer. Now, what you're looking at on your wear layer is it's this thin coat that basically protects your floor because that gives you your lifespan. The higher the mil wear layer, the better the quality. So if you get something that's like a 5 mil and you have a lot of people walking in your space, it's only going to last a couple years.
I was going to say at KUAM, we're a very female-heavy company, so we get a lot of women wearing pumps, heels. We get everybody and their dog walks through our halls at some point. So yeah, this material is meant to last and take a beating.
Something that's commercial wear, right? 40 mil wear layer is really nice. It's going to protect and give you these floors for a long time, right? So that's always important. Then we have what we call carpet tiles. This is something that we installed also in your on your set. So if you notice there, it's like one carpet, but if you look close enough, they were actually all pieced together. And the great thing about carpet tiles is if someone comes in and they drag in stuff that they shouldn't, or spill coffee and it's so much, or red wine that you're like, wow, this isn't going to come off anymore. You pull it up and you replace it back down.
So it's modular, just replace the section.
Yes.
Okay, Anthony, true story. I literally interviewed a cuckoo bird several years ago. We actually had to have you guys come in and replace the flooring section because the cuckoo bird kind of got nervous with all the lights and everything like that. Had a little accident and
try to add to the color pattern.
Yeah, so that's a true KUM BTS story, by the way.
So yeah, I guess when you look at it, a lot of collections, a lot of ways you can work with your flooring, a lot of options, and if you look at our showroom here, we have binders of options. So if you want something darker, if you want something lighter, if you're more towards autumn and more brown tones, then we can fit the colors to whatever your aesthetics or whatever your color space is.
And it's not just the colors themselves. I'm seeing it's also the textures and the patterns. Let me ask you guys: are there any such textures and patterns that work well with certain industries? Like say, like construction would be more, earth tones, and
if you want, depending.
Insurance is a different one.
Like I think when you're looking at spaces, if you're doing more of a break room, you want probably to use something more like an engineered vinyl tile or luxury vinyl tile, just so that if people spill things or whatnot, it's easy to mop and clean up. If you're more in the workspace and want something more comfortable, more residential, carpet tiles work. Big area rugs. I have a big area rug in my office, kind of to have like a warmer feel. So there's a lot of solutions. It just depends on, this is what I'm looking at.
Or if you're an auto dealer on the show floor, you would want, your very best thing, and certain colors engender, trust and confidence, and okay, gotcha. There is a psychology behind this.
No, yes, yeah. And a lot of it is, and there's so much. We have, we work a lot with architects and designers, and so they'll provide the solution. If it's a smaller space, you might want to go lighter. If you have a bigger space but a lot of foot traffic, you probably may want to go a little bit darker, just so that you don't see all that wear and tear, or kind of just the foot traffic that goes in and out. Lighter carpets, and we have it in our showroom as well. We'll come in and we're like, wow, okay, we need to get these carpet cleaned, or pick up those tiles and replace them already. Because throughout the years you want to keep it as fresh looking as you can. So,
right.
That's always important. But carpet tiles are easy install, easy to replace, and a lot of different options. So
Anthony, what are questions that people most often have when they come in and they're like, I have a general idea of the ambiance I want to create. Like say, like maybe if it's like a restaurant, you know, you've obviously got the front of house, you've got the dining area, then you may have like a bar. Those areas very often are cleanly separated. Then you've got the back of house, you've got the executive offices, you know, the general staff. How do you guys actually give them counsel on what they should do?
Well, I think there's a good percentage of times where people come in, they have a general idea of what they're looking for, but we do have a really well-versed team that I'm proud to say on our sales side and also our install side. We have a solution specialist that we do send from time to time to project locations. So what it is, we take a look at the space, and like Jess said, we provide tailored solutions, right? And with flooring, it's no different. I like that you touched on the psychological aspect of it, because what people don't realize is you're not just selecting a color, you're selecting a vibe, so to speak, a part of your branding, right? So with M80, like you notice, we have so many carpet tile selections, but we also have a lot of color selections that really lend well to that space and that vibe that you're trying to give off. I think a lot of times we tend to kind of just take notes from our experience, and that's really what lends well to our success, is that we do have the experience within the company and within flooring expertise. And so when clients come in, we listen to what they need, we understand, and we also suggest, and we more than likely come to an agreement on what's really needed for their space.
Yeah, Jess, you've been doing this for a very long time, and you're the best of the best on island. You're at the top of the totem pole, and you're always learning and trying to incorporate new knowledge for your clients.
Absolutely. You know, you never stop learning. And, you know, like Anthony said, we work with our team members, we work with our designers, our space planners, we work with our architects and our partners. You know, there's a lot of companies that we work with to be able to kind of meet together and give the client the best solution that they want. You know, spaces are very important, and it's important that we make it their reality.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to let you go, but guys, if you don't mind, this one is really speaking to me right now. This kind of like metallic silver. So absolutely. So we're going to let you guys go, but I'm catching a vibe from this. So I'm going to talk to Anthony and Jess about making this work for us at KUAM.
Making spaces a reality with M80 systems.
And just like that, we are back in our Harmon studios. We're in the same thing too. See, magic of TV. All right, before we head into a break, showing you some more magic, we want to tell you how you can meet Santa on Black Friday. Now, jolly old St. Nick himself needs your help filling up his trusty sleigh for those in need before Giving Tuesday comes around next week. Between 10 a.m. and noon on Friday the 25th, make sure to swing by the KUAM studios, cruise by. If you're going to King's, if you want some Thai food, we got a lot of cool places here in Harmon. Check us out. We're across from Cost You Less, and drop off new toys and food items, and you can meet Santa Claus in person. You can totally take selfies, share your Christmas wish list, and get on the nice list with your generosity. No such thing as being naughty here at KUAM. There's a couple naughty guys. They all work in our production department, but we are all about being nice here. So please be generous, and please meet Santa Claus. Once again, that's Friday, 10 to 12. All right, we are going to take a break, but when we return, weekly renewal with Claire Cal.
I can't make that amount work right now.
Mom,
what is it?
Can I get new basketball shoes?
We'll see.
Can I please have $20 for my field trip?
I don't know. Can I go to my friend's house after school?
Anak, hindi pwede.
We're all trying our best to make ends meet. The governor's childcare programs are helping businesses and working families care for Guam's kids. This ad is paid for with funds administered by the Department of Public Health and Social Services. Visit guamchildcare.com to apply today.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
At Bank of Hawaii, we believe that part of living your happy is feeling safe and secure. It also means knowing your hard-earned money will be there when you need it. That's why Bank of Hawaii is proud to be the #1 local bank people trust with their money. And the only bank in Hawaii ranked one of America's most trusted companies by Newsweek. Because when you can trust that your money's safe, it's a lot easier to live your happy.
KUAM News, winner of the 2022 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the Culture Club.
Even though we are on the second day of the work week, and for some of us, it's our first day back, we could always use a renewal. So we give you a weekly renewal each and every week right here Tuesday on the Hotspot with our friend Claire Calvo teaching you how to center yourself and live a better island life.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hop a day, I'm Claire Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. I'm here back again with Risha Onion, who is a licensed professional counselor and a quantum healing hypnotherapist. Welcome, Risha.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
So I'm also curious, after these past few years, 2-3 years of pandemic and everything that's gone on in the world, how have you found in your practice, are you seeing more people with higher anxiety or?
Right. It's definitely much more, people are much more open to it is what I see.
Good.
I think therapy, counseling has always been beneficial, but because of that condition, that you can't talk about your feelings, you can't let people know you have problems.
It helped people catapult even more so, right?
To open up to it, because it's really not that. We're all human, we all have feelings, we all have challenges, and sometimes it's difficult to get through them, especially when we've been conditioned so far away from our actual true self.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that proves that a lot of times there's a blessing in the, how do they say it? There is a, silver lining, but with every,
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm trying to think of what that saying is. Basically, with
good thing came out of it, right?
It's like when there's the most contrast, you'll find the most expansion, right? So there's a blessing in every problem, I guess. Simply put. Is there anything else you want to share, though? Any tips before we close?
I think the most basic tip that I can give to everyone is, in the moment, if you're feeling any kind of stress from level 1 to 10, you can just take a moment and just breathe. I like to say, stop, drop, and love yourself.
I love that.
That's my saying. So if anything goes on, just stop what you're doing, drop what you're doing, and just love yourself.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you can even just breathe. Just remember that you're here, you're human, and just take a breath before you move on to your next thing. Because usually when you do that, when you focus on the present, you take a deep breath through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and you kind of are aware of your next direction.
It's a reset.
Yes. So it can be as simple as that.
I think breath is so crucial, like whether you're in a yoga class, meditation, or within your profession with therapy,
right?
Because it's the most immediate thing to bring us to the present moment, right?
And you can use your feelings to kind of steer you in the direction, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling sad, for instance, so if I stop, drop, love myself, and take a moment to breathe, then I realize I'm feeling sad. There's a message attached to every emotion. And so the message with sadness is comfort.
Yeah.
So I can then ask myself, okay, I'm feeling sad, I need comfort. How can I get comfort? Do I need it from myself? Do I need to do something for myself? Do I need it from a friend? Do I need it from someone else?
So it's about having that openness for self-exploration.
Right. So you can use those feelings to guide you and not be afraid of them. Because a lot of people are afraid to feel.
Yes.
Right.
We can analyze our feelings, talk about our feelings, but not necessarily feel our feelings, right?
It's tough. When you're sad and you have to feel sad, it's hard because then you have your thoughts that follow your emotions, or maybe sometimes your emotions follow your thoughts, but it's a beautiful way to get better and evolve.
And it makes sense why people distract all of us. We distract ourselves as much as we can to get away from that.
When it's
silent,
so uncomfortable. Right, exactly. But when you actually allow it and you do heal from it, you do move forward, it's so beautiful and it's so wonderful, and it's an even happier feeling that you were able to reach.
Just processing. Thank you so much. Okay, so I mean, you are an incredible, doing what you do. But if people want to reach out, how can they find a therapist that actually works for them?
Yeah, have to open the doors since the pandemic for people to look for therapy. So I hear that it's difficult. But there are so many therapists out there. There's myself. Yeah. I do have a website, Risha Again. I know. And your private practice? I'm private, yes. So I take insurance.
And do most therapists take insurance?
Most therapists do.
Okay.
I think sometimes it's a struggle to know what's open, what's not open, because therapists kind of come and go.
So the best thing to do is reach out and call and like
right, because they are out there. We are out there, and there's people opening up, and there's it's expanding. So,
but how do people find therapists aside from word of mouth? Is there like a directory?
Great question.
I would think your insurance would have.
Yes,
I know that.
Yes,
for those who are not but for those who are not insured, I guess.
For those who are not insured, I think it is behavioral word of mouth, behavioral
call, behavioral.
Yes,
right?
Yes, they can direct you.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. They can even take an insurance pamphlet and see what the what's offered. Yeah, who the providers are. Because usually, if they provide insurance, they provide self-pay.
Yeah.
But word of mouth is definitely one. Even if you call a therapist and they're full, they should be able to refer you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is. It takes some research, but don't give up.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
Trust.
Not alone.
A lot more people seek therapy than they let on, than people.
Yeah, I love therapy. I say that all the time. Like, it's really like having a personal trainer at the gym, but
instead of work out, work in.
Yes, right? Exactly. Work in. Personal trainer working in.
Thank you so much, Risha. And thank you all. I'll see you next time on your Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
When we return, House to Home with Liz and Gina.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
The all-new Hyundai Tucson.
I want my streaming. I want my TV. Ooh, streaming TV. Switch between live TV and your favorite streaming apps with DTV Plus from Docomo Pacific. Watch your shows in multiple devices all at the same time, all from your home Wi-Fi. No cable lines, no hassle, more savings for only $35 a month with your Link bundle. DTV Plus, your cable TV on Wi-Fi. Ooh, streaming TV.
Subscribe to our KUAM News Digest, our weekly email newsletter with all kinds of information straight to your inbox. Just subscribe and we'll make sure to keep you informed and entertained with news from the KUAM News team, what to watch on NBC and CBS, and the latest promotions from KUAM Communications. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab at the top of the homepage, register, and you're all set. Brought to you by Uno Go, Guam On Demand.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
We are talking about various types of rates here on House to Home today. Liz Duenas is over there. Gina Campos is over there. I am over here. I'm Jason Salas, and we are talking fixed rates, adjustable rates, interest rates. Oh boy, there's a lot to unpack about this. And ladies, you know better than I ever would and everything. How many people are actually not even experts, but they have competency in exactly what a fixed rate loan is versus an adjustable rate, and how that measures up to the current interest rate when they're looking to get a house?
Well, the issues that we're having now, Jason, is when I got my loan, it was like 2.5, but it was an adjustable rate fixed for a 5-year window. So the normal process for buying loan, people want to buy with a lower interest rate, because remember, we talked about the interest rate rising. So you're up to 6.8, 6.9, up to at least 7%. And
up from 4, right?
Yeah, from 2, 3, 4, and we're anticipating an increase in the interest rates.
Really?
So what that did was, of course, we talked about that again. It increased their monthly payment, and it aced people out of buying a home if they had a particular budget of, let's say, $450, and then because the interest rate went up, their monthly payment increased much more, and so transactions were either canceled or people just stopped for the moment. But as Gina and I were talking, they have to be smart about it and strategize, because people still have to buy homes. So how do you do that? And buying down the interest rate to make it more doable could be one way, but they have to have the financial means to make that happen. And the other thing would be your adjustable rate. If you were to purchase a low adjustable rate, how do you do that? Do you want to do that, let's say a fixed rate for a 5-year window, and during that time, after, hopefully, cross your fingers, after the 5-year window, you can refinance and, of course, bring down your interest rate at that point. But Gina's been in this a longer period of time, that she's seen more of I've been in it 27 years, and Gina's been much longer. So she's seen the rise and fall of interest rates, right, Gina?
Well, that's the truth of everything. What goes up must come down. What is down must go up. It is with everything in our lives. And right now, the interest rates are going up. But
to everything, turn. I believe I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah. It's the season for everything. But
I was hoping you'd do that.
I actually want to thank Calvin Hernandez from Bank of Hawaii. He actually reached out to us last week, and he came in and we set up a training. He set up a training session for our RE/MAX Micronesia, which includes our office and the 3 other offices here on island that are part of the RE/MAX franchise. But he set up a training for us, and he specifically wanted to promote the idea that, our customers, if you're in the market to buy real estate, you're going to figure out a way, or you must figure out a way to buy and move forward and get into your home. But that still remains the American dream, the Guamanian dream, to own your home. And so what we're trying to figure out, what he wanted to teach us, was don't lose hope. There are mechanisms out there. There are strategies that you guys need to be aware of. So number 1, work with a real estate agent who can help you strategize. And number 2, find a good lender. And I'm sure Calvin's out there, and he's absolutely fantastic at what he does. And I'm sure there are others, whatever lending institution you're using.
And Cal, just so everybody knows, he's the vice president of residential lending for Bank of Hawaii. And he's been there a very, very long time, and he really, really knows his stuff. I've known Cal for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's, as you do these deals, and this holds true for realtors as well, as we do the deals, we learn more from every transaction and every consumer. And so Calvin's years of experience has given him the background to be able to teach us how to strategize. And one of the things that Liz just brought up that he was explaining is, because the fixed interest rates are going up, before, what I noticed was the fixed interest rates were very low, but the adjustable interest rates were high. but it is the opposite now. The fixed interest rates, which we who doesn't want a fixed rate, but if right now the opportunity is not there, or you may not want to lock in a fixed interest rate. My husband and I just locked in a 10-year adjustable. Oh, Jason, let me give me a moment just to say to everyone who went into Pica's Best and voted. I just want to thank everyone, because I know how busy everybody is. And, I want to thank you for voting for Remax Diamond Realty for Pica's Best, and for me for Pica's Best. I can't thank you enough. I'll continue.